Hey, Amber, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I heard you're in Canada.
I am. I'm actually speaking to you from Toronto, but I just want to congratulate you because you're making fellow Canadians very proud. How do you feel about that?
Thank you so much. I'm honored. It's so cool to be Canadian, but in the States living out my dream and hopefully making Canadians in a positive light, which isn't hard to do.
Absolutely. And
Everyone
this
loves
is something
Canadians, right?
I find really, really interesting because I want to know how you got into it. I know that you come from a family of race car drivers, but what was it? Like, when did you decide that this was something that you wanted to pursue? Because not a lot of females get to do this.
Definitely. I grew up in a racing family. My dad raced, grandpa. I was literally at the racetrack in my mom's belly. So it's in my blood. And as I've gotten older, my love grew for it more and more. After high school, I did go to college and was going to take the more realistic route, but I just had to follow my passion, and my heart told me I needed to race and that I was meant to race. So I got my athlete visa and moved to the States and pursued my racing dream.
Amazing. And how challenging has it been for you, Amber? Because as I said, not many women get to do it, but then here you are, a Canadian, going to the States to try to get into it. So tell me a little bit about the challenges that you've faced.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not been an easy road at all. I've had to overcome a lot of adversities being Canadian, being a female, but actually the toughest one has been the financial part. Racing is extremely expensive, and I don't come from a family or with a lot of money or a famous last name, which most NASCAR drivers coming up do. So even at 10 years old, my dad said, if you want to race, you have to do it on your own. You have to pay for your go-kart. You have to work on the car. So having kind of been behind the eight ball my whole career, it's been difficult, but it's also taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me a lot about business. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur just as much as a race car driver. So it's really instilled a lot of different values and skill sets that I wouldn't have had otherwise.
I'm sure, and I can't imagine that getting sponsors is an easy feat.
It is not. I'm asking millions of dollars from companies to get to live out my dream. And although there is a lot of value involved, it's hard because a lot of Canadian companies are interested in partnering with me because I live in the States. But as you know, the dollar is a little rough right now. So it's hard kind of convincing them to spend their marketing dollars in the US.
Right. Yes, I can imagine. And now, of course, we're seeing you both in Canada and on the States on Racing Wives. Now, you are not a wife. You are a driver. So this is already causing some conflict on the show. Tell me about why you wanted to be on this show and how it's been for you.
I thought being on the show would be an absolutely great opportunity to share my journey with people and show how hard it is to really become a NASCAR driver and hopefully get the exposure that I need to help bring on those big sponsors so that I can move up in my racing career.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about being with these wives because as we've seen already from a few of the episodes that have already aired, there's already some drama going on.
Definitely, there's always going to be drama on TV, but for the most part, the wives have welcomed me with open arms. It's definitely different because I don't really fit in anywhere. I'm not a wife, but I'm a driver, but I don't really fit in with the guys either because I'm a female. So it's a very unique position to be in, but I just have to stay authentic and true to myself and keep focused on the goal, which is to get in a race car as much as possible and win as many races as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. How do the male drivers treat you, Amber? I'm really curious about that.
It's a little bit of both. Some of them treat me well and respect me, and some of them don't treat me well and don't respect me. I think the more that I prove myself on the racetrack, the more the respect comes. But there's still those people that believe that racing is all boys' club and girls shouldn't be a part of it. But we've come a long way. Back in my parents' day when they were kids, wives weren't even allowed in the pit area. So now to be competing with the men on the same level as them, it shows a lot, and it's one of the few sports that women and men can actually compete at the same level.
Right, right. So what's up next? Like, what are the ultimate goals and where are we going to see you? And do you come back to Canada to race? Are we going to get to see you here too?
I come back to Canada quite often to visit family and friends, but unfortunately don't do a lot of racing in Canada. My goal is moving forward is to get a big full-time sponsor so that I can be racing full-time, and you can see me at Daytona and Talladega and hopefully racing against some of these wives' husbands.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, there's some pretty big names in the. Who do you look up to? Like, which drivers do you actually, are mentors to you, or who you've looked up to over the years?
I really respect Kyle Busch a lot because of his pure talent. He is no matter what, he always finds a way to win, which is so inspiring. And he's a businessman. He has his own race team who I hope to race for, and you see part of that in the show as well, of me trying to race for his team and Sam helping me get sponsors to make it happen.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck to you. I hope that we get to see you back here in Canada. Obviously, just visiting family, but even maybe we'll see you come race here in Toronto. It would be great to have you do that here.
Absolutely. If you know anyone who wants to partner with me for a race in Canada or in Toronto, I'd love to come race in Canada for sure. So any companies out there,
you got
let
it.
me know.
I'll start making some calls for you. Okay.
Sounds
Have
great.
a great day, and
Thank
thanks
you.
for your time, Amber.